All right, how's it going, Miss Caterrion? Thompson, this is Coach Bates. So I'm gonna try to pretty much summarize more or less what it is that I do when it comes to a video. So anytime I'm watching somebody's film, if I see it once, it never happened. If I see it twice, I'm alerted, like I'm looking for it. And if I see it a third time, it's a habit. It's something that's consistently happening, right? And I'm mentioning that because obviously this is only the first time I'm watching a full game of yours. So there's going to be plenty of things I'm only going to see once, maybe twice. But I really only want to touch up on things I'm seeing 3 times. Other than that, I guess we could get started. I'll try to keep it nice, short, and brief for you. And I'll be showing, of course, video examples on here and everything. To start off, I don't actually find a concern with this because as the game progressed, like as you see, this is the very beginning of the game. You don't have an issue with this. And that was just that you didn't take this shot, which is surprising seeing the highlights that I've seen of you and the kind of shots you make. And I mean, you've literally got range. So that was surprising. Like, I don't know if it's maybe because the game just got started. I don't know what it was, but you didn't take the shot. But again, I don't really want to talk too much about it because you changed that later on. All right, moving on to the next thing. You do a really good job at this. I'm only going to talk about it once, but it's something you're always doing, and that's your head on a swivel. Like, you're always doing that, and it's just definitely something that that sticks out, and I'm glad to see it. On this one, I want to talk about being ready when you're just one pass away. So if you notice, like right here, you should be ready to shoot. Now, I'm only mentioning that one time because I haven't gotten a full understanding of your shot yet. So I don't want to say you're not ready here because I've actually seen you pretty much standing straight up and taking shots. But ideally, I want your hands ready to catch that ball. Like if you get that last second pass right there, like as she picks up right here, you're already shooting. You know what I mean? But I have a feeling that, like I said, as I learn your shot and everything like that, I'll see whether you're actually ready or not. All right, so right here we have a situation where you're the screener. Another thing that I kind of want to learn how well you do at. Usually, like my screener's a little bit lower base and everything like that. Of course, your feet are set perfectly just because if they're outside of that, then you're gonna get, you know, a call. But I'll point it out when you guys are running horn. Some things that I noticed on your screening. All right, so let's start looking at horns. Everybody runs horns different, and they run a bunch of different actions off of it, right? But let me kind of understand how it is that you guys are doing it. So you're coming down, you're using the screen here. If you don't get the ball right here, you come back up and you rescreen, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you're coming down, and what I want to point out, you see how much room you're leaving? Check out where your feet is compared to them. Like you really want to kind of rub off that screen. Now, of course, the setup is what's going to get you there. And what I mean by the setup is where the screener is compared to you. So once she's standing, right? Depends on your coach. Sometimes I don't like my players going until the screen is set, or else, you know, we'll get into foul trouble and everything like that. But that screen's not very good. Okay, whatever. Now we come back. And this is where you go and you set the screen. You see how you're stopping so far back there? She also does a bad job at, you know, closing this gap. You see how she's attacking this way instead of coming right off your hip. So what you guys want to do is kind of try to figure this out, but I prefer for you to come, you see how like slowly you came, I guess you could say. Once you come up there a little bit quicker, come a little quicker and stop like right here, right before you make contact with them. So that way you're not having to lean and do a moving screen or anything like that. But let's look at another example. All right, here's another time that you guys are running it, but it's ran a lot more effectively. So you see how it's like hip, oh shit. It's like hip to hip. Let me get this going again. See how much closer they are? Like there's less of a gap for them to jump, right? And then watch. If she doesn't immediately get the ball, she goes straight into setting this screen. And she doesn't look for a spot, she looks for the defender and sets that screen on the defender. Just like that. So that's a lot more effective. All right, here's another example. Going into horns. Look at that. There's no room for the defender to get by, so that means that screen is set perfectly where you want it. The defender does his job. You're not getting, you don't get the ball right, because this would be you in the scenario. You immediately come out here and set that screen, a nice hard screen. You don't want as wide of a base as her. You're not as short as she is, so you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt that she does. But you definitely want to like really come up and set that screen hard. All right, here we are again in horns. So the screen, that one, I can't really fault you on that. Just because they went under and everything. Now, I would hope that you guys have something in the playbook, or maybe after seeing this, coach tells you that whenever they go under, I would prefer, because I know you can shoot this three, just to lay back and take that shot right there. You know what I mean? But it's not quite there. Remember, if you're not getting the ball, just immediately go set this screen. And I guess maybe they haven't told you yet, but in the event that this big doesn't get the ball as well, right, that's the one that you're getting setting the screen to. Because remember, in the last one, she would get the ball and then you would go screen this one, right? If she isn't able to get her the ball, then you just come screen this big. That's the adjustment you make on that one, on the fly adjustment. All right, here we go, coming right out of halftime, straight into horns, right? Again, the spacing. If you don't get it, immediately come set that screen. All right, so that's the last one I had on horns. And like I said, talk to your coach on it, ask questions and everything. So let's check this out. And I want to point this out because later on something goes wrong or whatnot. But they're coming in, they're setting a screen on you, right? And you do a really good job at fighting through it. Keeping contact and everything like that, staying close, fighting through it, setting your feet, all of that. So great job there. All right, so I had asked you about this one, and you mentioned that the rule is if it's a post to a guard, which is what this case is, right? You got to get over. You got to fight over, so on and so forth, right? Now, I'm mentioning this because the team you guys are about to play, number 11, is an absolute badass at this. So if she reads, like, she's great at slipping, so on and so forth. And if I was playing against you guys, and I were to see you, because it's like the team isn't quite committed to how they want to defend the on-ball screen and everything like that, I would attack you guys on that. So, and I know they like to do it a lot here, the team you guys have coming up. So I would definitely be looking out for that, and you guys want to get on the same page on this, because you see how long she's taking to get back, and she goes a long way around, everything like that. There's got to be something. I don't know what the coach wants to do as an adjustment or anything like that. If we want to have the help side switch and then, you know, help her get back and everything like that, but it's definitely something you guys want to address before the next game. And then here's another example of what I'm talking about. Like, what is it that we're doing? Are we switching? Are we, like, I'm guessing this is a big. Yeah, that's your big. Yeah, that's your other big. So I get what you're doing here, but, you know, we got to be able to know this before. No, that's not. Is she big? Yeah, I guess she's a big. Honestly, if she's that committed all the way over there, maybe you're fine. Maybe you're fine. Maybe it was her that didn't make the adjustment right. All right, so here it is. Here's the one that I'm talking about that the next team you guys are playing does a really good job at using, especially with number 11, is this top of the key kind of thing. So it would be a big, so, you know, if we're not switching and everything, well, yeah. But like I said, this right here is when I would be like, if I was them, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm putting her in that all day. I'm putting her to make that decision all day. Good thing is you have the length and everything like that, and the athleticism to make up for it. So you did a hell of a job, and your hustle, of course. So you're able to still get there and stop the score and everything. But here we are again, just showing an example. But we got to be on the same page on what it is that we're doing. Because if you got to fight over, you got to fight over, not under, right? Because even though she hasn't shown to be a shooter, now what you're doing is setting a double screen on your big. Or not really a screen, but so yeah, we gotta communicate. Are you fighting over, going under, whatever it is that we're doing, we gotta stick to that. Just another example here. It's a hard hedge that she's setting. I have a feeling she's wrong on this, but like I said, I would attack your guys' pick and roll with the big and smalls. There we go again. Nice. Very nice. See if we commit to going over. Nothing in the backside happening to mess it all up. Here we go one last time. That length and athleticism really helps you out. Let's see if you look for the hip. Yeah, you're getting through. You got skinny. No, you did great on this one. Nice. Well done. Alright, so going back, let's go into this right here. So this is why I'm thinking that this is your red, because that right there, you look ready to go. You look ready to shoot if she were to kick that ball out to you and everything. And that's perfect. That's exactly how I want you anytime that ball is one pass away. That's how you want to be. And actually, like right here, I just freaking love everything about this defense right here. Perfect mirroring and everything. And then watch, head on a swivel, head on a swivel. Just freaking perfect defense right there. Good job. This right here is a combination of your length and hustle right here. It's not your man, but you see that she's open and everything like that. You rotate over. You do a great job of contesting. And you actually, from what I saw on your other contest that you had, you do a really good job of contesting. 1, without leaving your feet, and 2, without fouling. So great job on that. So speaking on that, right, hustle, all effort and everything like that, this is a perfect example. So you read what's going on here. You do a great job at being the help out, and at the same time, so you take away this and you hustle on the pass to take that away. Look at that closeout. Great work. All right, so this one here, I think it's just going to be a matter of you guys getting to know each other, getting a feel for how you play together, and especially because I know you're great at getting the board, offensive boards and everything. But here, what I would prefer for you to do, especially when she's not looking, I want you to go to that corner. So even if you start coming this way, go to that corner, you know, create a passing lane, or you can switch up, lift up here if you want and everything like that. Create a passing lane. What you cannot do is bring the defender toward her. You see what I mean? Definitely, we cannot do that. All right, so there's a couple things I want to touch on here. One is going to be your angle. Well, of course, the ball gets popped up and everything like that. But this right here, let's see. Yeah, that extra step that way. And then you take another step after that. So angles are important whenever we're attacking the basket, right? So yeah, this one's out here. This one, we want to start using it to push ourselves inside toward the basket and not give the defense all this time to recover and everything like that. So 1, angles. 2, picking up your dribble. There was a few times that I saw you do it. I believe it was 2 other times. Let me see if I can find them. All right, here's another one. This one, it's a lot easier to miss the mistake because nothing went wrong. But you coming into here to pick up the dribble without an intent. So you're picking it up because you're shooting or you've got a wide open pass. But picking it up in a situation like this, that's very wing of you and not very guard of you, if you know what I mean. So there's a couple things to talk about on this one, but let's look at the picking up the dribble side of it, right? So from my understanding, because I think I've seen you do it 3 times, these are your spots. It looks like the elbows, you're really comfortable with taking that shot. And you're hunting it, which is a good thing. But there's 2 things that happen. 1, the defense is already there. They've done a good job. They've done their job, right? But if you notice, let's look at this angle. Are you attacking downfield? There's no excuse for you to not have already been gone. You know what I mean? That's a flat-footed big. Let me see. Flat-footed, flat-footed, flat-footed. She's somewhat moving, but I would attack her as soon as I get that screen. Right here, you gotta think like a guard. Down, you gotta go downhill. Attack. Go. What you're doing is you're allowing the defense once again to recover. So that for 1, and then 2, you're just hunting it, and regardless of what's going on, like with the perfect defense, you're taking the shot. Now, I think the reason this happens is because of something else we're going to talk about later. All right, so this is one that you do a great job of creating the passing lane, right? A little late, but you create it anyway. And what I mean by a little late, I keep forgetting I can't say stuff without giving a reasoning, right? What I mean by a little late is you're doing it once the ball's already picked up. Now, I understand, you know what, you might have been stuck to the actual, if it was a set that you guys are running and maybe you're supposed to stay there, but either way, come back here, you create it. I would like for you to attack a little quicker. I know you're more athletic than that, but there's a couple times that I see you catch it. I think I've seen you do it out here. I think, yeah, at the very beginning where I said, why didn't you take the shot? Where it's almost like you're catching and processing instead of catching and trusting. You've been at this game for a long freaking time, and you're a scorer too, because I've seen your highlights. You're a scorer. So I want you to catch and trust that instinct. Trust what it is that your body wants to do, which as she's closing this way, go. Don't wait for her to set her feet, go. Now this backspin, I think I saw a turnover of yours off of this spinning to the left. But again, if I only see it twice, it's not enough. All right, so this is something I think I only saw twice, but it's a big thing. So I wanna address it now, and I wanna see what it is that your mindset is on it. So turnover, right? Happens, part of the game. All right, let me show you the next example. All right, here we go on the next. Like I said, so I'm not even too worried about the reaction you had there. If it was isolated to one time in the game that it happened, nothing came of it, it's all good, no problem, move on. But this is the second time, right? And then this is how I can tell that it's still on your mind. It's still bugging you. We're on to the next possession, and it's still bugging you. Because I know you're thinking, y'all gonna call that bullshit? We'll call this too then. I get you. All right. But I'm saying this is 2 times that it happened in the game, right? Oh man, but I love it because you've got that dog in you, man. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's the fact that it's happened twice. Okay, 2 times that you had a poor reaction to a bad call or a mistake you made because you did that lazy foul over here, and then on this side, that reaction that you had afterwards, when you pretended like she was able to do anything to move you from your spot. Now, let me show you why I'm not at all concerned about those 2 incidents, right? I'm thinking it's just frustrating, like so many things that are adding up and everything like that. It doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make it okay that you reacted that way. I hope you learned from it. But this right here is why I'm not concerned about it, because I freaking love what happens here. Teammate makes a mistake. Are you pissed off? Are you going off on her like you do yourself? No. You're like, hey, shit happens, bro. I fucking love that shit. It would have been even worse if it was the other way around, where you got pissed at your teammates twice. But no, that's... fucking love that shit. But yeah, no, it's just, you know, those 2 things. Like I said, it only happened twice. It wasn't that big of an issue. But it's showing me that you're not mentally overcoming that hurdle from play to play. And you've played long enough to know that, hey, it's 1 play at a time. I don't care if I just freaking drained a 3 that was from way the fuck out here or anything like that. I gotta move on to the next play. I don't care if I just made the big mistake or I turned the ball over. You gotta move on to the next play, right? So that's pretty much the concern I had when it came to that, was that you gotta be able to get over it. Let's see what you do here after that turnover. Oh, I think this is the one where you force your move. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. Yep, this is it. So I get it. You're trying to make up for it, right? You just made a mistake. I got to make up for it. That doesn't mean you have to be the one to score. That just means you have to make the right decision. Anytime a coach tells you to make up for it, it means make the right read, make the right decision the next time around. That doesn't mean you have to be the one to get the bucket. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. I knew you were forcing it for a reason. All right, this is the the last negative thing I'm gonna say before I finish off. You're doing a great job here, as per usual. Your defense is just something else. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is. You tell me what I think you did wrong here. Let's watch it again. Right there, you should be able to tell. If not, let me know. I'll let you know what it is. But other than that, I freaking love watching your film. You definitely have a lot more positive than you do negative. I can't wait till you get comfortable with this team. Like once you get to learning everybody's habits, and especially with 2-3, I kind of hope that, because you guys did the 1-3-1 at one point, I hope in your 1-3-1 you put the big in the middle and put 2-3 in the back, because it's scarier to have her smack in the middle. Down here, I know she's got the athleticism. I think it's Wade is her last name, if I'm not mistaken. Wade's able to go from side to side if needed and everything like that. So are you. Like, you're able to react. But I think it would just be freaking scary as hell to be up there, have you on no matter who gets the ball up here like you had been doing, and then have her on the backside, because I think Wade would do a great job at those weak side passes, those tosses, those skip passes. I think Wade would do a hell of a job at intercepting those and everything. Other than that, like I said, I'm thank you for the opportunity. I'm glad I was able to watch you guys. The upcoming opponent, I actually started watching the game. Number 11 is going to be trouble. That girl's something else. But great work. Keep working your ass off. I'll hit you back and everything like that. All right, you take care.